get neutralized soon.
Ajay, thanks very much for joining us with those details. And viewers, we're now going to move on to cover news from Japan. Now, Japan's Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi has scored a massive mandate with her Liberal Democratic Party sweeping snap election to win a record two-thirds majority in the lower house. The LDP secured 316 or 465 seats, its best performance since the party's founding in 1955, and crossed 352 seats with allies. Takaichi says the victory gives her a strong mandate to boost Japan's economy and military amid rising tensions with China and closer ties with the United States. The snap polls were called just 3 months into her tenure. Let's go across to Aditya, my colleague. He joins us to get us more details on this. Aditya, once again a resounding victory for Sanae Takaichi. Just 3 months after she took office, what do you think were some of the factors that have really contributed to her winning the snap polls?
Well, absolutely. If you see, Japan's Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi's popularity is so much, in Japan. So definitely, that is why she's enjoying this support from the people of Japan, and definitely, the statements that are coming in from Sanae Takaichi, are very, very optimistic in nature. She has expressed appreciation for U.S. President Donald Trump, wherein underscoring her commitment to further strengthening the Japan-U.S. alliance and confirming her upcoming visit to White House. So definitely now, when the Quad roles comes into a very into existence, because as you can see, India, Japan, Australia, America are all on the same side, maintaining a global order in the Indo-Pacific, and containing the rise of China. So definitely, now we can, for the last 1 year, we have seen how Trump has been imposing tariffs on other countries, which has somehow, diluted the role of Quad. Now, with these comments, recently we have seen how US also has reduced tariffs on India as well, and definitely we could expect a major Quad role in the upcoming days. Kriti, back to you.
Aditya, thanks for that. Do stay on with me. Viewers, we now move on. Now, US President Donald Trump has also congratulated Japanese Prime Minister and her coalition on what he called a historic landslide victory in Japan's general election, praising her leadership and decisive mandate. In a post on his Truth Social, Trump said Takaichi's decision to call early election had paid off big time, describing her as a highly respected and popular leader. Trump highlighted that the Liberal Democratic Party, or the LDP, has secured a rare two-thirds supermajority in the lower house, calling it a historic achievement and saying it would allow Takaichi to push ahead with a conservative peace through strength agenda. He said in what was an honor to endorse her and expressed confidence that she would not let the people of Japan down. Aditya, big praise now coming in from Donald Trump also for Sanae Takaichi. Of course, after Trump has also signed a major deal with Taiwan that Takaichi has strongly set to protect amidst the threats from China. What can we really expect as far as US and Japan relations are concerned from here?
Definitely, both Japan and US are active members of Quad, and definitely, as far as the stance on Taiwan is concerned, both US and Japan have the same stand, and definitely, both the countries are expected to work in that direction in the coming years. Day in and day out, we see how the People's Liberation Army of China send its aircraft and violate the airspace of Taiwan day in and day out, and considering the US has deployed its aircraft Navy carrier in the South China Sea, which is somehow a deterrent for the Chinese Communist Party. So definitely, at this juncture, we could expect a major, this major strategic alliance between US and Japan is expected to increase, and we could expect in the days to come. Yes, Kriti, back to you.
Yeah, Aditya, stay on. Reactions are now coming in from across the world after the Takaichi's stunning victory after Trump. In fact, Mark Carney has also congratulated Sanae Takaichi. In fact, let me read out. Carney congratulated Takaichi for her decisive win. He said he looks forward to working with her to strengthen the partnership between the two countries, Canada and Japan. In fact, Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, has also congratulated Takaichi on X. He called her party's election win an important victory. He also said, and I quote, "Today we also need strong leadership so that the world can return to stability and predictability and ultimately to peace." He also thanked Japan for supporting Ukraine, protecting lives and helping rebuild the energy sector during the war. Aditya, massive praise and congratulation messages coming for Sanae Takaichi from east to west. Takaichi has really become a very popular leader just in a matter of time. Goes without saying, she's a prodigy of former late Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. But what can we expect as far as her foreign policy is concerned from now?
Well, definitely, she will follow a very, very aggressive foreign policy of Japan, considering, reviving the strategic alliances that Japan has with like-minded countries, especially if we see in relation to the Quad. And definitely, time and again, we have seen China also taking an aggressive posture against Japan, when it comes to the issue of Taiwan. And China is also embroiled in a little conflict with Japan in the East China Sea. But definitely, all these things will be dealt by Takaichi in a very, very systematic manner as her tenure goes forward as a Japanese Prime Minister. Definitely, we could expect a lot in the time to come. Priti, thank you.
Aditya, thanks very much once again for joining me with those details. And viewers, let's now move on. All right, now Asian stock markets have jumped sharply on Monday after Japan's Takaichi won a decisive election victory, raising hopes of higher government spending and tax cuts. Japan's Nikkei index led the rally, surging more than 4% to record highs as investors bet on reflectionary policies under Takaichi's strong mandate. All right, Aditya requested to join us back and give us some more details as to what we can expect from the Asian stock markets. As of now, they've rallied after Takaichi's strong win, but are the markets expected to continue that momentum?
Asian stock market has definitely has risen. Definitely, we could expect this sentiment to further, go forward, and Asian stocks rose as investors stepped back into equities following a volatile week driven by concerns about lofty valuations in technology stocks. The Nikkei 225 index surged as much as 5.7% to a record as a historic election victory by Japan's Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi buoyed markets. The Kospi index, a poster child for artificial intelligence investments, jumped over 4%. The US equity index futures advanced after the underlying gauges rose about 2% on Friday, so recouping most of the losses from the three prior sessions. Elsewhere, Bitcoin recovered from its tumble, and Treasuries fell. The yield on the 10-year benchmark rising 1 basis point to 4.22% as risk appetite returns. Gold and silver opened the week higher, even though the precious metals were still way off their record highs.
Aditya, thanks very much. And viewers, with that, we'll now slip into a quick commercial break. Stay tuned to Newsx for all national and international news and updates.